Hey guys, welcome back to the channel once again. So today we are here to solve one interesting SQL question that has been asked in Uber for the role of business analyst. So the question is of easy level question. So let's understand the question first. Assume you are given the table on Uber transactions made by the users. Write a SQL query to obtain the third transaction of every user. Output the user ID, spend, and transaction date. Let's see the input table. So in the input table we have the user ID, we have the spend table and the transaction rate, and in the output table we are supposed to find out the user ID, the spend, how much my amount that has been spent, and the transaction date. So basically it is saying we have to find the third transaction of every user. If we see the input table, then we can see in the input table we have the user ID, and user ID 111 is having three different types, and both three are all the three are having three different spends with three different transaction dates. So whichever user ID do not have a user count of more than 3, we will not be considered that. Only the user IDs that have a user count more than 3, we will only consider that, and out of that we have to find the third transaction. Okay, so we have quite far understood the question. Let's jump to the notepad, and as we have discussed, we'll be writing the particular query in the notepad first, followed by which we'll be writing the same query in the SQL compiler. So let's jump to the notepad, and in the notepad I have already written the create and the insert statement. These particular query you will find the description. You can just check the description. Okay, so what the logic that I'm getting is we need to find the row number for each user ID, and once we have done find out the user ID based for all the row number, we will then extract the particular rank from which the user ID will be having the third rank. So let's write the query. So select, we need the user ID, we need the spend, how much it is spent, we need the transaction date, comma. So here we'll be using the row number over partition by user ID, order by, we have to order by the transaction date, order by transaction date, and that will be in ascending, so we don't need to specify that, as the row number from the transaction table. Let's copy this from here, control C and control V, and from there let's keep this particular query inside a CTE, and from there we need to find the user ID, we need the spend, comma, we need the transaction date from the CTE where the row number or the rank whatever we have specified is equal to 3. Okay, so we have quite far written the query. Let's check this query with our in our compiler. Control C and then let's jump to the compiler. So this is one of the SQL online compiler that you can find in the Google. Let's paste it and let's check the, yeah, I think we have some spelling errors, you can ignore that. Yeah, let's run the query. Okay, so we're getting some kind of error. So the error basically says in line 5, let's go to user. So it is saying the row number over partition by user. In line 2 you are getting the error. Let's check it. Okay, so it should not be from the city, it should be from the table name. Again we're getting some error. Let's check it once again. So we're getting the row number over the, we are getting partition by user ID, order by. transaction date as row num, and then with, okay, so we have written the, we have missed the as part, so you can just run it once again. Yeah, so here we have already got the user ID 111 that has spent 89.60 rupees, and this is the third transaction. So yeah, this is how you can actually solve this question. And once you have written the query in a notepad, there might be some error in the form of some spelling mistakes, so you can ignore that, because what we need here is the logic behind it. So yeah, this is the question that has been asked in Uber previously for the role of business analyst, and you can actually expect to get these kind of questions in the initial rounds, followed by which the difficulty level of the questions will definitely going to increase in these companies. And yeah, so till then, keep loving, subscribe the channel to get more updates, and yes, thank you.